Hey Miles, this is John Altman. Just wanted to give you a little update on your mechanics. Just trying to highlight some differences between week one video and week two video. So, um, the video on the left is the video that we took the first day that you came in, and so you'll see we don't really get much engagement out of our lower half. We're pretty tall. Being tall necessarily isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you pretty much just kind of step forward. Okay, your lower half direction wasn't super great, and so you can see that we're basically taking our lower half towards this Mutual of Omaha sign, and then in order to get ourselves back on target, glove side has to fly open early, and then we yank a little bit just to get ourselves back towards home plate. So again, lower half going this way, glove side's got to go early and rotate early in order to get ourselves back on track. Okay, and then we talked a little bit too about like why that can cause you to cut the baseball a little bit as you throw. Okay, if we go to week two, you can see I drew kind of this little stick figure over the top of your deliveries. So first of all, you're getting much better, like I shouldn't say much better, but you are getting into your lower half more. So you can see you've created more flexion. Okay, so that's about the deepest that you get is right there. And on the video on the left, or the video on the right, you're definitely trying to get into your back leg more. But I'll notice that back knee is still kind of angling back past those back toes, and the lower half direction is still going towards that Mutual of Omaha sign. So you can see that it's still kind of taking you this way. And so because of that, glove side still goes early, and we kind of have this big arch in our low back. So you'll see like we kind of have this big arc here because that's how our body is trying to compensate to get ourselves back on track. Now, all of this isn't necessarily the worst thing, but I definitely think that we could clean up some of this inefficiency. So one thing that I recommended when you came in was, this is kind of the track that you're at with your body. Okay, your body's always going to try and want to stay upright. Okay, it always wants to balance itself. And so if you want that back foot to be, or that back, if we want our lower half direction to be a little bit better, that's what I'm trying to say, then our body's going to have to follow more of this green line. So if you think that back shin is our anchor point, okay, our back knee is going to have to be more straight up and down. Okay, so I'm actually going to highlight this in yellow. Okay, so back knee's going to have to be more straight up and down. And when we do that, our butt's going to have to sit back here behind our heel. And then to compensate for that, our trunk is going to have to lean forward just a little bit. So one thing that I would think about is as you sit your butt backwards is to think about leaning your trunk forward just ever so slightly just to stay balanced. So I think one reason why this knee tracks this way is because we're staying super up and down or very vertical with our trunk. And that's the only way that your body's going to stay balanced is if that back knee tracks that way and we want to stay up and down with our trunk, then our lower half direction, we're basically just setting the stage for our lower half to stay going towards that Mutual Omaha sign or towards the right hand batter's box. So if we want to improve that lower half direction, we're going to have to sit our butt back a little bit. And then when we do that, we're probably going to have a little bit more forward trunk lean during our delivery. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, just let me know. Again, I think you're doing a much better job of at least trying to get into that back leg. Now, one thing to understand is deeper is not always better. So doing some things like some drop steps or some of those hopping drills will really help you understand the amount of depth to create. So basically the depth that your hips reach, like on your drop steps or on those hopping drills, is the depth that you're going to want to go during your delivery. But now it's not just creating that depth that our body can handle, but then trying to create some angles and leverage with our lower half that improves our lower half direction. So that way we're not flying open and cutting the baseball. So I hope you find that helpful. Again, let me know if you have any questions, but keep working and keep moving in the right direction.